that 'tis to glory we steer, to add something more to this wonderful year. To honor we call you as free men, not slaves, for who are so free as the sons of the waves? Hearts of oak, our ships, jolly tons on our men, we always are ready. Steady, boys, steady. We fight and we conquer again and again. We never see our foes, but we wish them to stay. They never see us, but they wish us away. If they run, why we follow and run them ashore. For if they will fight us, what can we do more? Hearts of oak are our ships, jolly tars are our men. We always are ready. Steady, boys, steady. We'll fight and we'll conquer again and again.
Oh yeah, it's time. Let's do this. Greetings, my fellow captains. Welcome to another video. Raz on the HMS Hood. Yes, we got the new Tier 7 Premium, the HMS Hood, built by Her Majesty the Royal Navy. Now let's go over a little bit about the history, and I'm going to show you guys what I think about this ship real quick. So first off, HMS Hood. Well, what is it? Well, HMS Hood was based on the battlecruisers. Battlecruisers are fast, nimble, big guns. That's basically what they are. Now, what's so famous about this ship? As everybody would know, unless you've been under a rock since it was a childhood in your history books, HMS Hood was famous for being the last and the proudest of the battlecruiser line of the Her Majesty's Royal Navy until a unlucky salvo hit the aft third turret of HMS Hood and had detonated her aft magazine shells, causing a volcanic eruption. Unfortunately, only 3 sailors survived that incident. God rest everyone else who was on that ship. It's a petty and a severe loss to the Royal Navy, and those people should surely be missed. However, World of Warships has now definitely brought HMS Hood finally to the game, and now we can play this historic ship in our game. Now, how does she stack up? Well, they put her in Tier 7. At Tier 7, you got Nagato, Colorado, Gneisenau, Scharnhorst, and now Hood. Hood is a little different than most of these ships, and we're going to talk about one of them. Number 1, hit points. She has the highest hit points in the game, and only compared to that is the Nagato with 65,000 hit points, compared to hit points of the Hood at 67,700. So she wins in that. Number 2, she has good and bad armor. Good for she has 350. If you takes off the torpedo bow, she has 350 on the sides, but if you remove everything, her citadel is sloped at 51. Compare that to Scharnhorst, was it sloped at 110, which is not very good at all. So that is the biggest fear with Hood. She has a very, very pencil-thin deck of slope, and basically is made her very, very squishy in the squish department. And because of that, she has very, very good chances of getting citadeled, which is not good for any of us who like to try to play this ship. Now, Hood, though, also has some pretty good guns. She has 381s, which are 15 inches, which are pretty good, but the only drawback with them is the turning radius on these are basically wanting to order a pizza and waiting for it to return to sender before you can fire. Number 2 is the dispersion is a little fair. I'm going to say fair. She is not good at far range. You're spraying and praying. Nagato has a better firing range at, hitting targets. Gneisenau has better dispersion than the Hood. And that's my take on it, but I always am complaining about dispersion, so, you know, I always take it with a grain of salt. Maybe you get a better shot than me, but I always have return to sender guessing if I get the good hits or not. Now we get to my favorite part of this ship. The most powerful thing in this thing, the anti-air. Well, Raz, what do you mean? It's only got a 51 rating. Look at Colorado. She has a 71 rating. How is she better? Well, there is a reason. She has a defensive fire module, which means the intensity of everything gets buffed significantly compared to most ships. You can see she has 4 of the quad 127s. She has 3 of the 8 40 mils. She has the dual purpose 102s. And then she has these. The UPAA Rocket Mark 1s, first in this game, so basically she has the first rockets. However, the radius of these firing ranges of these things is 1.8, which means you're having have to have the bombers come in close in order for these things to hit. But when they do, you're shredding targets like it was nothing, no horse business. Tier 8 planes have a difficulty of hitting this target if everything is surviving. So if you want to keep these things lasting longer, I highly recommend to make sure you try to get as much to buff and make your AA mount survive. Hence why I'm actually going to recommend, if you want to spend the money, go for auxiliary if you want to have your AA gun survive much longer. I prefer having my guns last a little longer, so I make it always in my modules. However, I might recommend not doing that and recommend switching to the AA mods, because the longer you can have your anti-air guns lasting, the more of a threat you are in the later parts of the match. Especially if you do have carriers in your game, the difference between you and having to deal with planes in the later parts of the match when you have less health could be the difference between life and death. Now, maneuverability. She has the worst turning radius in the entire game because, well, it's the Hood. She's freaking huge. Biggest ship we have in the game. And her speed is pretty darn fast. She has 32 knots, which compared to Gneisenau, Colorado, and Nagato is the fastest of all tier 7s. So if you're trying to get to a certain point, especially if you're getting capped, you can turn this ship around and catch up and get to cap really quickly, which will help you in a pinch, especially if your team's in severe trouble. You can get to point A to point B in a very quick time, which allows artillery shells, especially if you're trying to assist somebody, get to the point that's needed as quick as possible. However, like I said before, watch out for your rudder shift and your turning radius, because you are not going to be able to dodge as well, especially for torpedoes. And don't forget as well, you have the worst torpedo protection than any other tier 7 ship. So if you actually have to dodge torpedoes, good luck having the damage reduction. Your reduction is not going to be very much. Compare that to Nagato, or hell, even a Colorado, or even a Scharnhorst, they're almost double in certain aspects. Scharnhorst not as much, and Gneisenau, but the other two almost double the amount of protection. So you are in severe trouble if you have to deal with torpedoes. Try not to get hit. Definitely do not try to get hit. Your concealment also is pretty bad too. Compared to most ships, yours is pretty large. However, it's not as bad as Nagato and Colorado, but the problem with them is they have better gun range. You don't. You have a 18.6 gun range, which is the worst. So you're going to have to deal with that as well. So basically, decent guns, really good AA, and really fast speed. But I think enough of the talk. There's less talking and more showing actually what it is. So let me go show you some gameplay of how this chip actually works. So let's get to that, and I'll show you guys what this thing actually can do. Okay, everybody, now I think is a perfect time to start talking about this. As you can see, this thing has pretty good loading of the guns. You can see the low's pretty good, and then you can see clearly I'm going to try to hit this Neptune, and the dispersion, it's there, but it's a little spread. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Yes, I'm gonna miss a lot. But that's the way these shells are for this thing. And you can see also, like I said before, you can see my speed is ungodly fast. Now this guy over here in the Frederick is basically saying they need AA cover. Mr. Shades needs AA cover, but I'm not going over there, so. But the ship is you've got very, very, very good anti-air cover. But that also doesn't say that the guns
desert road, no gas,
are nothing to shake a stick with. The drawback, though, like I said before, is these guns take 1.5 miles to rotate. And once they fire, see, there's an enemy null.
I've got a really bad feeling about this. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Stop that ship. But you know, that's just the way that thing is. But the guns are basically, as I repeat over and over again, are slow as hell. Just watch them turning back and forth, and the guns take 1.5 miles to rotate. It's like pulling fucking teeth to get them to go. But if I didn't have the expert marksman on this, it'd probably been a lot worse. These guns don't like to rotate. They just want to stay as a stationary turret. They don't want to move. Now here comes a Prince Eugen. I'm going to fire at him. And this is what I mean by the shells are pretty powerful in this ship. Very good grouping, very close shot, 10k away, and...
eat shit and die.
Yep, that's going to happen. You're going to do that. If you're at 10k away, you're really going to hit that citadel, that ship. Any further, they can either break up or they just don't want to pen at all. It's pretty bad. And especially even goes for even a tier 9 ship like this Missouri. I'm going to try to shoot him. And look, the dispersion looks okay. But look. It broke. It doesn't penetrate the target. These shells have a tendency, I think, to drag. And if you're in having to hit a target that has very, very thick armor, especially another battleship, you're not going to pen it. I think it's because the target just does not want to have that kind of armor. However, you can see here's a Neptune, and that's a different story. See, it's going to easily pen the target or go through because it's pencil thin armor. But if you're going against a battleship, it's either going to non-pen or not hit them at all. Okay, here's another one for everybody here. This is more aircraft action. This match I had with the Hood, I got a Ranger and Independence again. So like I said, there is chances you will get aircraft in this game, but it was sort of in between, and I think it's because of the warship thing going on right now. But even now, currently, as this video was recorded, the matches were done, and everything was uploaded, I was still getting a bucket load of these aircraft carriers once in a while. So your chances of you getting planes is pretty fair. And then all I do is hit the button, and then slowly, planes melt away. You can see there's his planes. And I barely touched there. He's still in my max range. He clearly knows where my max range of my anti-air. Still taking one out at a time. And I think the reason why he didn't come in as quick as enough is because he was waiting for his other deck of cards of planes to come roaring in. Once I saw that, I quickly just marked the other half and then watch this. And I clicked bombers. And then I went.
I've got a really
bad
feeling about
he lost them all.
No, I've got a
he literally lost all of his planes. And he still gets those planes in the back, but they were null and void. After all that, he didn't touch me, and I killed 16 of his planes. Do you know how devastating it is to a carrier to lose that many planes? 2 full squadrons. Gone. Literally gone. He literally lost 3, actually, if you think about it. And then I fired this Nagato.
Now I've got a really bad feeling
That's still
about
ready
this.
to go. It goes to show that this thing can be really devastating. Now I'm just speeding it up here a little bit, guys, by just quickly clicking the button little by little. I'm taking my sweet time with it, though, because I don't want to have the game crash on us. Because right now there's nothing much exciting going on. A couple shells hit, mating slams to bits. The carrier the whole time after that first attack pretty much stayed away me the first time. He only did it once, and then he never saw the light of day from him ever again, it felt like. Because he knew after the fact, oh, he's got really good anti-air. I'm going away from him because I can't even hit him. But that doesn't mean he's not going to try again.
It slaps you back to Bangkok.
And you can see, also, I'm desperately firing a lot of shells. And I'll hit again. I get the hits, but they're not really earth-shattering penetrations. Especially with the distance that this thing can fire. You would think with these shells, especially 15-inch, they can at least hit and damage something to the target, or at least bounce off or something, but yeah, no dice. So overall, Raz, what do you think of the Hood? Well, if there's a CV in play, CVs don't even try to get near me, especially in early phases, because I'm gonna wreck your planes. Guns, like I said, are pretty chase, but you're gonna have some difficulty. But overall, it's a decent ship, and I love its speed, because if I need to intercept a target real quick and help the allies, I can do that very quickly. But there is, like I said, drawbacks. So if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna be in. You're gonna get shreked. So you gotta be very, very careful what you do. I mean, here's a little bit of hood on hood action. Watch, he's gonna fire a salvo. I'm trying to angle, and
Desert road, no gas, and no chicks.
I lost 12,000 in that one salvo. It just proves my point that this thing, it's good, but the armor is very, very squishy.
Much better.
So you're going to have to be very careful what you do. And don't pray that your armor is your, see, right there, Citadel. And don't pray that your guns are going to be accurate, because the guns are not going to be your strong suit of accuracy. They're god-awfully terrible. And your 102s? Good luck for them to hit something. However, those mean battery guns will definitely do the trick. So, that's my thoughts on the Hood. I hope you guys enjoyed me talking about the Hood. Sale still goes on. If you want to, I recommend getting it. If you want to spend the $70 and get all the gun modifications, just switch a few out, because some of them are really unnecessary. Like, they give you damage modification. Yes, it does reduce the amount of fires, and yes, this thing will get fires like a kettling, but use your repairs. Use your repairs at the right times, and you'll be fine. Really, it's a wasted consumable a module. You more want to buff the steering, the gun accuracy, and make sure when you get captain skills you get the basic and advanced, because you want to buff up every chance you can your anti-air defense, because you are going to be strong suited for AA and decent gun suites. So that's the 2 goals. So, I hope you guys all enjoyed this little video on the HMS Hood. As always, take care of yourselves.